Hey there, it's Bill Straub with Modern Thirst. I've got another quick tasting for you today. This is a new one that came into us from the actual marketing company, from Tincup Whiskey. This is their new straight rye whiskey. This is brand new as far as I know. There's not a whole lot of it on the market a whole lot of information on the market that I can find about it. What I do know is that it's 90 proof, it's number 3 char barrel, and despite it says it's cut with Rocky Mountain water, it's not distilled anywhere out west. It's actually, if you look on the back of the bottle here, it's distilled in Indiana and aged 3 years. So we do know what that means. Yep, that's MGP. And before anyone gets all upset about that, I like MGP. I think it's probably my favorite rye on the market. Occasionally, there's some good Kentucky ryes that come out, or barley ryes, or however you want to call that. But by and large, I think MGP makes some of the best rye whiskey in the world. So I'm usually pretty happy when people use that if they're going to source their whiskey. It's probably the best place to do it. But it's 90 proof. I've had this. I've been sipping it since last night. It's about kind of a medium golden color. It's not overly dark. You really wouldn't expect it to be, though, for only 3 years old. It has all the telltale signs, though, of MGP whiskey. It has this beautiful kind of a lot of people call it dill. I think it's a little minty note on the nose. It has this citrus pop and kind of a zest on the palate, and a little bit of black pepper. And I believe this is also the 95.5 mash bill, so 95% rye and 5% malted barley, which is pretty standard for MGP. But let's go ahead and give this another smell. Yeah, so it's there's some good notes to this. Number one, it has that mintiness. It has that kind of candied orange zest, almost a orange jelly bean note to the nose. A little bit of black pepper. It's really kind of gearing more towards kind of a sweetness, almost like a cinnamon. But it's good. It's fine. It's kind of what you expect out of this. The more and more that you taste a MGP whiskey, the more you expect certain characteristics from the MGP whiskey to be in the bottle. And when they're not, it worries me a little bit. These are there. Yeah. Let's give it a taste. So it follows through. There's a mintiness to this. It's more of the mouthfeel, it's kind of mintiness. Black pepper, a little bit of lemon zest, a little bit of cinnamon, not as much as there is on the nose. Just a hint of kind of a smooth, freshly sawn oak. Medium to long finish. It finishes fairly well, which is kind of surprising because the mouthfeel on this is pretty thin. Very light on the palate. You expect that sometimes from a rye. A lot depends on the age and where it was aged in the rick house, and a lot of it also depends on ABV. And at 90 proof, this one's fairly low ABV. Yeah, so it's kind of a standard MGP, 90 proof. There's a lot worse whiskey out there, and there's better whiskey out there. But they haven't missed the mark by any means here. I think it could probably do well with another year or two of aging, because you get a little bit more of the barrel influence, a little bit more of that kind of oakiness to it, which we really like, especially in MGP stuff. That, if you can get it up 5 years or more, it's outstanding, and it's getting harder and harder to find MGP rye over 5 years old. There's just too many people buying it and not enough people aging it anymore. But yeah, so it's fine. I like it. Modern Thirst scale is going to be in the mid 80s, probably 84, 85. It's a solid whiskey. I do like the packaging, much like Stranahan's. I guess this is a thing from out west. They give you a little aluminum shot glass as the capper to this thing, and I like that packaging a lot. I just think it's kind of fun. I don't know how often I'd ever use it, but it's pretty neat. I've got some bottles of Stranahan in the other room, and I've never never actually used the aluminum shot glass on top of it. But all in all, the packaging is great. It looks pretty good on a bar. I really like their bottles for one. I think I really like people who can get creative with their bottles, and that shows an attention to detail and kind of caring about the finished product, which I think matters. But the whiskey itself is fine. You know, buy this depending on your price point. And if you're out west and you like to support your guys out that way, definitely look into this. It's worth having. I wouldn't line up for it. I wouldn't wait over, camp out overnight like it's a Pappy or something like that. But it's a good whiskey, and it's solidly made, and that's what you expect from the folks at MGP, because they do a really good job there in Indiana, Lawrenceburg. So cheers to Tincup whiskey. I think they came out with a good product. Again, maybe another year or two of age would be awesome, but other than that, they did a fine job with this. This is a very approachable. It's a whiskey for the masses. You wouldn't mind mixing this with anything because, again, it's not something overly rare, so to speak, because a 90 proof MGP at 3 years is not overly rare, but it's a good presentation of that. They've done a good job blending it. They've done a good job proofing it down, and I assume that's since it's it actually says on here with cut with Rocky Mountain water, so I would assume that they're doing all the blending and proofing out west somewhere. So they did a good job with it. I would like it a little higher proof, maybe 100 proof, and I would like it maybe a year or so older. But other than that, the presentation is very nice. So cheers to Tincup. You guys have a great day, and cheers. Thanks for watching.